Okay guys, whew, that's a hot one out there today. I think it's like 35 or 36, but we're still working. So today I've been kind of crushing the honey. Check it out. So I packaged this honey up already this morning, and I thought it would be a good opportunity to kind of show you guys how the honey comes from the hive into a glass jar like this. Kind of going to go through the process on how the honey goes from the hive into this fancy glass jar. Has a QR code that brings people right to the channel, which is kind of neat, and there's kind of a picture of me on there. All right, so let's go take a look. Like I say, it's super hot out here today. Cash is hot, everybody's hot. Pretty much all the animals are just hanging out in the shade. Good news, we got the pump up and going. Turns out it was clogged full of weeds. So I was happy about that I didn't have to replace it or do a major repair to it. So let's go take a walk out to the hives here. I kind of want to show you how a little bit of a quick process on how I make a little bit of money here off grid. All right. People seem to ask me that a lot, right? How I make money. And I'm always trying to figure out new ways to make money too, right? Like with the treehouse. So this is a nice strong hive here. You can see the bees are down below, the worker bees are flying out. But this box up here, this third box, that's just strictly a honey box. You can see this piece of steel here, guys. That's like a steel grate. It's called the queen excluder. That keeps the queen in the bottom two boxes so she doesn't lay any eggs up with the honey. So we put this grate in here. Her abdomen's quite a bit bigger than a worker bee. So she's kind of gets trapped in these two bottom boxes, which is nice because then you don't have to worry about when you're working with the honey boxes. You can kind of be a little bit more rough. I know that sounds like why would you want to rush it, but sometimes some people have 50 hives, some people have 1,000 hives. So knowing where the queen is at all times is a very nice, comfortable feeling, all right? So once that third box of honey is full, you'll kind of be able to see when you crack the lid. I know it's not full now and I'm not gonna crack it because I don't have the smoker up and going, even though it is a hot day. I've been stung a few times in the face this year, all right? So I need to be a little bit more cautious, I think. This here has 2 honey supers on it, okay? You can see that this is the really strong swarm that I caught. You can see this little bit of yellow in here. There's some sweet yellow clover along the sides of the roads, and that's what they're feeding on. It's actually, this is what it looks like right here, guys. I think this in Canada is besides for the native wildflowers, is the second biggest honey producer. The sweet and white clovers. You can actually eat these. And taste sweet. So once the honey boxes are full, I usually bring out my extractor. This thing here. I bring it up on the deck on a cool evening and then I spend the evening extracting all the honey. So the frames that are in the honey boxes, they go in to here. They lay in here. And then this electric motor and gear system spins the honey pretty fast. And then centrifugally the honey hits the outer drum here and then it falls its way down to the bottom. Once it's relatively full, this valve here, I open it up. I have this stainless steel filter here And I line that with cheesecloth and for the most part, all the wax and bee legs. Sometimes you get bee legs and a little bit of debris in the honey, and it all gets caught in there. So once it's in there and it's all been filtered out, if I'm not gonna use the honey, I'll store the honey in these white pails. I'm kind of been going through some pails. So if I have extra honey, I store it in these pails and then I put it in the root cellar. Okay, let's go take a look. I'm gonna show you just in case if you're new here. Welcome, what's up? So I store the honey underground, this big dirt mound here. I know it looks like a bomb shelter, but it's not. It's a root cellar. But it never freezes down in there. There's about a 10-foot hallway and then it opens up into a big room. And I store the honey in there. So like on a year, like this year where I had extra honey, I can process it. But when the honey sits at 1 to 2 degrees for 6 months, it becomes very hard and solidifies, crystallizes, okay? But the cool thing about honey is that you can reliquify it. So that's what I use this for. I put a pail of honey in here, into the cooler, fill the cooler full of water, and then I have this, it's like an element, guys. It warms the water up to about 100 degrees. And then when the heat of the water warms up, the honey absorbs, the colder honey absorbs the heat and reliquefies the honey. Then I pour the honey that's now liquid form into here. This is my honey melter, okay? Runs off propane, and then there's a burning element underneath here. There's a water jacket that goes fully around the whole cylinder here and on the bottom. You fill it full of water, I'll show you, from here. And then the open flame warms the water, which in turn warms the honey. But not too fast. It's a nice slow process so you don't cook the honey. All right, and then I'm gonna show you how we pour one out, all right? Take a look. So I have a brand new a bunch of new jars of honey, mason jars. I only use new jars, of course, so just so you know, if you're gonna buy some honey, it's only, of course, brand new sealed jars. All right. So open up the lid, keep the lid here. I just crack this valve. And the honey pours in. Honey's an amazing thing because bacteria doesn't grow in honey, right? Honey never expires as long as it was capped with wax and has the right moisture level in there. If there's too much moisture in the honey, then the honey can ferment. So a lot of these big honey producers that you guys probably buy a lot of honey from, what they do is they cheat the process and they use like a dehumidifier, and that draws the moisture out of the honey. But in nature, the bees are supposed to draw it out themselves, right? The bees know when the honey's perfect. So I only uncap the honey, the frames of honey, with these little doodads, like a little comb, and you uncap the honey with that, and then spin it in the extractor, okay? I don't feed my bees any sugar water or anything like that as well. So the honey that I get from the homestead isn't a lot, guys. Like canola or alfalfa producers that have big fields or keep their bees by really big canola or alfalfa fields, they probably get 5 or 6 times the amount of honey than I do. But I get wildflower honey, which is a blend of anywhere between You know, it could be up to 20 wildflowers. So the honey is very nutrient dense. It's very healthy for you. I have some honey, wildflower honey, that's 7 years old, that's up in my room. It's still in liquid form, just at room temperature. So, anyways, I just wanted to kind of get in here, show you guys how some of the honey goes from the hive. Whew, it is literally, it's hot. From the hive to the jar. Of course, we put the stickers on there as well. Once the honey's cooled down a bit, you don't want to put the stickers on when the jars are too hot, right? So, all right. Quick little video for you guys today. I hope everybody's having a great day. Take care. Peace.